Hello, welcome on back to my channel. I hope you're all doing well. With us today we have our beautiful model Angie, and on her I created this full coverage alluring queen glam makeup look. So without wasting time, if you want to learn how I created this look right here, then keep on watching. So to begin, I'm taking the Cerave moisturizer lotion along with the Milk Hydro Grip primer and applying it onto the skin to prep our model's face. This has been a go-to and I really like how it leaves the skin plump and hydrated but without making it feel heavy, rather ready for some magic. Not forgetting my badscue rose water, and we are going in with a lot of product today, especially powder, so the skincare will complement what we use on top of it. For foundation, I'll be using the Maybelline Superstay in the shade 355 and a pinch of 360 and applying this on with the makeup sponge. Angie has a quite brighter face than the rest of her body, which is what I'm matching. I think this is the perfect shade for her and it doesn't look too heavy on the skin. To contour, I'm using the same Maybelline foundation in the shade 375 to add some definition to her cheekbones and around the perimeter of her forehead, working the bristles of this contour brush into the product and lightly buffing it into the skin. The goal is to achieve a seamless finish, reason I'm going in with a blender. See how snatched our model is looking already. Once we have this blended, I'm using the Nuban concealer in the shade 046 and e.l.f. in the shade Deep Cinnamon, and I'm applying this to the center of the forehead, the chin and the under eye area before I blend it out. The Nuban concealer is as full coverage as it gets, and I added the e.l.f. to give it more warmth and also as I transition into the contour. I do take my time blending because I want it to be absolutely perfect. You see me going back and forth with the contour brush to help diminish fine lines separating the contour and the highlight. Moving on to blush, I'm using this pink shade with a tint of red from my Imagic cream palette. Wherever I want to add a little more brightness, I will go back in with the same Nuban concealer in the shade 042.5 and apply it. You will also see me apply same concealer down the center of the nose, chin and forehead. But I'll definitely want the brightest area of the face today to be the under eyes. Who else loves a good bright under eye? So right now I'm sculpting the nose with the same contour shade, blending into the brow areas and down to the nostrils. Once we have everything blended out perfectly matched the way we like, I'm going to begin to set the face using the shade in the powder palette with my brush. I'm going to set the concealer around the eyes, chin and center of the forehead. Then with my mercier translucent powder to further set the highlighted areas of her face, the under eye, center of the forehead, chin and a generous amount on the bridge of her nose. So now it's time to set the face. I'm using the MAC Studio Fix in the shade NW45. I'm going to have all those products and shades down in the description below. Okay, next up I'm using the Morphe 8D palette, the shade Supreme as my bronzer, and I'm using the lightest amount around the perimeter of her face, so the forehead, the temples, and the hollows of her cheekbones. A little goes a long way with the bronzer. Now I'm using the same bronzer shade to contour her nose. Once I'm done, I'm using the e.l.f. blush palette in the shade Dark to blush up her cheeks. Moving on to setting the skin, I'm using the Morphe Continuum Setting Mist. The brows today are quite simple. Using the Beauty Line by Didi brow pencil in the shade Perfect Brown, my favorite brow product, to start shaping and filling in the brows. Starting from the tail end of the brow because that is where I want to be the darkest, and soft strokes towards the head for an ombre effect. After, I'm cleaning the brows with the e.l.f. concealer in the shade Cinnamon and blending seamlessly towards the brow bone area. I'm gonna spend the next few moments finishing up this blend and I'll be right back. So next, I'm using this burnt orange shade from the Morphe Gemshells palette, sweeping across the lid, focusing the placement in the crease and the outer corner of the eye. With the kind of look we are going in for, I'll be using an old school trick here, which is to use a flat edge item, which could be a card, aligning to the outer V of the eyes and diffusing the edges, which is going to give it this sharp lifted eye look, which I think looks very flattering on our model Angie. Going into the warm brown shade to blend the edges. Using the benign clown white as an eyeshadow primer, just dabbing a little on the lid space. To glam this up, I'm using the bronzy shimmer from the same Morphe Gemshells palette, popping this right onto the center of the lid. Now topping it up with a metallic green shade, resulting into a beautiful olive color. I'm making sure everything is well blended together. To further deepen the color in the outer V, I'm using the spooky black shade. So I'm running a black liner through the waterline. This will make the eyes pop more. Adding a smidge of mascara to give the eye some contrast and definition. Then a small detailed brush to further smoke out the lower lash line. We fixed some lashes off camera and whoa baby, that's so gorgeous! To start on the lips, I'm using this beautiful brown shade from the Imagic cream palette to trace the borders of her lips. Anyways, for this look I got inspired from someone on Instagram. Basically the whole olive green shimmer eye look here, and I added a little spice to it. Going in with this peachy nude lipstick, popping right in the middle and top it off with the NYX Butter Gloss in the shade Fortune Cookie, which is one of my favorite shades aside Madeline, and I absolutely love it. And lastly, I'm going to use the Morphe Continuous Mist to set and lock that makeup into place, which makes this the final step on how I created this full glam look on our naturally gorgeous model Angie. And there we have it. Hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, be sure to hit that like and subscribe to the channel. And also you can check more of my works on IG at NAYA_NORKIE. Bye besties.